We have Bitcoin staging a recovery, 63,161. That is the price of Bitcoin right now. You got dominance, 55.4, exactly as Sheldon said. Sheldon said that it's going to try and recover. It's going to do something like this. It's going to go up, and then it's going to continue to go down, and we're going to get another lower low. And then we have the total 3 chart, which for us is actually the most important chart because we degens. And Sheldon said this morning, if you didn't watch Sheldon's show this morning, you really should go and watch Sheldon's show, but it's forming a cup and handle position right over here. So you got this cup and handle forming right over here. And this is the chart that we're going to talk about because we're in alt season and it's going to be aggressive. It really is going to be aggressive. It shows no sign of stopping. I'm also going to show you how today you can 3x some of your altcoins. Really, if you do what I tell you to do and you take the risks into account, you're going to be able to 3x some of your altcoins today, quickly. So stay tuned. Big show. Let's do it. Big show. Big show. When I say big show. Welcome back, Banter fam. I'm Crypto Man Run, and I'm actually just looking at the giveaways that we're giving away. This sounds like an interesting one. This is MetaWars, and it's an IDO, which is happening on the 27th of this month. What date do we enter it? Today's the 24th. 25th, so it's happening in 2 days. Wednesday. We have 10 times $100, it's just giveaways, not even guaranteed allocation, to give to the Banter community. It's happening on some of the best launch pads out there. It's happening on Redkite, on Poly Launcher, and on GameFi. So today we're going to give away 10 of those. Today and tomorrow we'll give away 10 of those. 10 of those IDO, not even IDO, pre-IDO allocations. That is what we're going to be giving away. So if you want to get those, subscribe to our channel, like our content, comment, make yourself seen, make yourself heard. If you're new to our channel, this is the place to be if you are a degen. This is not for conservative people. This is where we make calls and we take our own calls. And together we are building the most profitable crypto community in the entire world. That I can guarantee you. Everything we say on this channel will make you richer. And that is financial advice. So if you're new to our channel, welcome. Subscribe to our channel. You see, I say it's financial advice. As soon as I do that, Fred goes on the bottom. And then he says, this is for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the host, guests, and viewers should not be construed as financial advice. Now we're safe. Dear SEC, look, now we are safe. You see, SEC, now we are safe. What else? Giveaways we've spoken about. We're going to also do ByBit giveaways today because I promised you guys we're going to do ByBit giveaways. What else? What else is there to do today before we start the show? It's a long show today because we are going to be talking about altcoins. We are going to be degening into 3 altcoins that I think are going to absolutely explode. And I'm going to show you not only how to make money on the altcoins, but also how to make money on those ecosystems. So today is going to be one of the most important shows we've ever had. You want to watch the show till the end. It's going to be fast, so you won't listen to it on 2 speed. You can listen to it on half speed if you can't keep up. Anyway, let's get this show on the road. Let's see what we're actually looking at today. Let's go, fam. Let's go. Guys, I do appreciate you. I see you guys all in the chat. It's so good to see you guys here every single day. Let me just name some of the people that I see here. Crypto Back, Jazz Naz, Morris Fox. I see you guys. I see her. Juno Agot. I see you. I see Jose. I see you guys all. I appreciate you guys all coming here every single day. You're part of the Banter fam. Morris Fox, lacquer to you too, my friend. Ozzy, Banter all the way. We love you, brother. Anyway, let's get into the big news of the day. Mastercard says that soon any bank or merchant on its vast network will be able to offer crypto services. So talk about doing a bit of a U-turn. So Mastercard went from we're not supporting crypto at all to watching Visa go all in on crypto. Now Mastercard saying we're also all in on crypto, and then PayPal goes we're all in on crypto, and everyone basically says we're all in on crypto. We do have the Bitcoin price stable and slightly increasing, which is super important. While at the same time, we have the dominance coming down. So Sheldon showed you guys earlier that there was a lower low on dominance, and he expected to go up and to start coming down. And he expects the total 3, which is the altcoins, excluding Ethereum. So excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, he says it's formed this cup and handle, and it could go up. And so it does look like we are getting what we call the best case scenario. And the reason why we're getting a best case scenario is because it looks like the plan B scenario, his best case scenario is now coming into play. So if you look at what plan B says, he says, when Bitcoin is in all-time high mode, the color turns to red, and it usually stays in red for a couple of months. So you could see that in 2013, we had like orange, red, red. In 2017, we had red. And then you're talking about here, 2013 style dip, exactly what you saw here. And it looks like if we do follow 2013 style dip, Bitcoin might actually explode. So that's what plan B is saying. It's not our information, it's his information. He also says he's getting 2013 vibes. He says a 200-week moving average up, black, realized cap up, gray, in all-time mode. So everything looks like it's in all-time high mode, and it does feel like we're going to get a 2013 type pump. If this happens, we're going to get a very aggressive altcoin run, which is great because we're all going to make money. We're all going to make tons of money. Even if you make mistakes, in an aggressive altcoin season, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes because the rising tide makes all the ships go up. So
everyone is a genius season.
Everyone is a genius season. Like that's what Fred's saying over here. And I agree. That's what's happening right now. So it means that you don't really have to be a genius to make money. It means that if you make a whole lot of mistakes, it doesn't really matter because your coin will eventually pump. It means that if you've bought something and you feel like, oh my God, what did I do? You just hold it because the rising tide will lift it up and eventually you will be able to get out of your coin, probably even at a profit. I remember this from 2017 where I made a whole lot of like bad decisions and it's like time just increased the value of my bad decisions. It's terrible. So that's how easy it is to make money in the altcoin season. But the smart money actually looks at the fundamentals. So they don't look at buying coins for luck, but they actually look at the fundamentals. And one of the fundamentals that I'm looking at is Avalanche. I'm looking at Avalanche. We'll talk about Avalanche a lot in the next couple of days, but the fundamentals are looking very good. So you've got this like increasing daily active addresses. You've got the increasing monthly active addresses. So it does look like this is going to start becoming parabolic on Avalanche. But this is not one of the tokens that I want to talk to you about today. Today, I want to talk to you about other tokens that can make you a lot more money than that. Okay? Yes, so that's what I want to talk to you about today. I also want to talk to you about the government's big plan because the government have this massive plan, this like huge plan, and now their plan has actually come out. And the plan is actually, it is disgusting. So here's the plan. The plan is that the government prints assets, right? They print a lot of money. They print money. What happens when the government prints money? Assets reprice. The stock market goes to all-time high. Housing prices go to all-time high because there's so much more money in the world. So all assets effectively reprice. And Bitcoin is one of the assets that reprices. So gold repriced, the stock market's repriced, Bitcoin repriced, housing repriced. All of these things are now at all-time highs. And now we're starting to see what the government's big plan is. Listen to this, and then you'll understand what the government's big plan is. And it is disgusting. It is, I cannot believe that we're actually even talking about this. So this is Janet Yellen. She's about 440 years old in the shade.
Well, I think what's under consideration is a proposal that Senator Wyden and the Senate Finance Committee have been looking at that would impose a tax on unrealized capital gains on liquid assets held by extremely wealthy individuals, billionaires. I wouldn't call that a wealth tax, but it would help get at capital gains, which are an extraordinarily large part of the incomes of the wealthiest individuals. And right now, escape taxation until they're realized, and often they're unrealized, and at death benefit from so-called step-up of basis. So it's not a wealth tax, but a tax on unrealized capital gains of exceptionally wealthy individuals.
So get what they're saying. They're saying, look, what we'll do is we will print a lot of money. We will shut down the economy as a result of these lockdowns. And you can argue that the lockdowns were effective or ineffective. In response to shutting down the economy, what we'll do is we will print tons and tons and tons and tons of money. In fact, more than 40% of all the dollars in circulation were printed in the last 12 months. Then what will happen is the assets will reprice themselves. And then this is where they catch you. Then they will start taxing you on your unrealized capital gains. So imagine you're holding Bitcoin. Your Bitcoin goes from 50,000 to 60,000. You don't actually sell your Bitcoin, but they tax you on the profits. Yeah, that's what they're proposing. Or you live in a house and your house goes up from $100,000 to $200,000 because that's the market value, and then they tax you on that. So this whole thing was actually a ploy from the government to print more money, revalue new assets so that they could tax you more on capital gains that you haven't even actually realized. That's what happens if this is approved. I don't believe this will get approved, because if it does get approved, immediately we see all the stock markets crashing. Immediately. Imagine everybody will just sell all their assets, their shares, their unrealized capital shares. So I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that money printing is going to continue. And therefore, I think that we are going to get into this aggressive Bitcoin pump, which is exactly what Plan B is saying over here. And then that is going to take us into an aggressive alt season, the likes of which we are starting to see, but we haven't yet seen all the way. We're starting to see this because Plan B says, you know, if we go according to this, we're going to a higher than $130,000 by the end of the year. And if we look at it traditionally, we can see that all the parabolic pumps actually happen in November and December. So if you look at the history of Bitcoin, November is actually one of the best months for Bitcoin. From 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2018, all of that is good for Bitcoin. Look at where the majority of the returns come. The majority of the returns come in November and December. So if the calendar is anything to go by, we're in for a great month. But I do want to warn you about something in the market that you've got to keep your eyes on, and I'll keep my eyes on it for you guys, and I'll keep alerting you if this gets out of hand. But there is leverage again in the market. We are seeing, here we go, here is that leverage. So if you look at the market looks healthy. Only one concern could be a high leverage ratio. The leverage ratio is still high. The funding rate, though, is still low. So what we're seeing is here in the blue and yellow charts. The blue chart is the leverage ratio. The leverage ratio is high. It's as high as it's been any time previously. In fact, the last time it was this high was in April. But the lending rates, the difference between now and April is that there's no insatiable demand for money, that people are willing to pay a lot to get more money, right? There's no insatiable demand yet. When this yellow line goes up and you get to a situation where there's high leverage and people are paying a lot for the funding, they're under pressure to sell because they're paying a lot for the funding. Therefore, they're under pressure to sell, and that is when you get the collapse of all the leverage. So I am keeping an eye on the leverage chart. The leverage chart is high, and that's why I think that we're not going to go up in a straight line. I think we're going to go up. I think we're going to have a couple of corrections. We're going to flush out all these leverage hands. You can see all the leverage hands. We've got to flush out all these leverage hands. And then again, we're going to go, you see, it's exactly like we've gone up, down, up, down, up, down. But the price continues to go up as this happens, you see, but we're going to get flashed along the way. So be careful and have your cashier meter. Now, I've got a cashier meter. I showed you the cashier meter on Thursday, 16%. I showed you, no, 15%. Friday, 16%. Today, Freddie, 17.5% in cash. Why? Because I know the market is going to come down. I know what's going to happen. The market has to come down because there's leverage in the market. And that's when I'm going to deploy the 17.5% of cash. So quickly, you're going to see an ape in the market buying up a whole lot of coins. And then I'll show you which coins are the ones that I'm actually going to buy. So keep your eyes on this leverage. Keep your eyes on this yellow line and keep your eyes on this blue line. When the yellow line touches the blue line or goes towards the top of the blue line, exit. If you're trading, exit, exit, exit. Okay. Then, keep your eyes on leverage. Let's see if there's anything else. Yes, you see leverage up. Look, leverage up, up, up. The blue line here in this chart is the leverage. The leverage is going up. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do about it. But the funding rates aren't going up. So people aren't aping into leverage. That's what it is. There is leverage, but people aren't paying a lot for it. So we're not at danger points yet, but I bet you the fear and greed index is above 80. Let's quickly check. I haven't checked that, but I would say the fear and greed index must be at above 80 because people are confident. Hold on. I haven't checked. Let's see. Fear and greed index is, but you have to look at it today. So you have to actually look at it tonight kind of thing. Because now the fear and greed index is 72. Okay, you'll see it's going to go to 78 later. It has to go to 78 later because the market is bullish again. So that is where I think the market is. Remember, we got to watch out for leverage. We've got to watch out to see that people aren't taking leverage. So aggressive bull market, insane bull market. In fact, I don't think there's any industry in the world that can give you the returns that crypto is going to give you. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next part. Crypto is a life-changing industry for so many people that I speak to. Even let's look at Chris, our friend MMCrypto. So you can see Chris, this is his house in Dubai, and he's celebrating that 4 years ago, he was a taxi driver. Now, you may or may not like Chris's content, but where else in the world can someone who worked for McDonald's or someone who was a taxi driver live in a mansion, drive a Bentley and a Lambo? Where else in the world can that happen? Which other industry in the world? It can't. It cannot happen. So we're privileged to be here, but you got to make the most of it in the next 4 months, because who knows what's going to happen afterwards. Like I said to you before, we have 4 months to change our entire lives. And if you don't use it in the next 4 months, you've lost it and you're going to lose it forever. Smash those likes while I'm getting a drink. Okay, let us talk about altcoins, because that's what we're actually here to do. No one tuned into the show ever for Bitcoin coverage. There's many other better Bitcoin coverage shows. In fact, I reached out to Plan B, and I said to him, Plan B, do you want to come onto our show? And he said, I'm much more focused on Bitcoin, and it doesn't feel like a fit. I think we're much more degen than Plan B. Plan B wants conservative people. He's right. We are degens. We're degens. Okay. Remember, 5,000 likes, we do the giveaways. No 5,000 likes, we don't do giveaways. Now let's talk about altcoins, which I think are absolutely going to explode and pump. And let me find some of these altcoins for you. So we have the first altcoin that we have, which I think is going to pump, or is pumping. I think is going to pump, is pumping. I actually don't even know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. Bang, it is Fantom. So Fantom is now at $2.90. We've been telling you for a long time. Do we have that video of what I said last week? Did you keep that video? I think we have it. And then here you've got a higher low, you see, and then again, higher low. So right now it's looking scary, but I think that this week is when this thing starts to actually come down. You see, I think that's what happens this week. I think everyone has been aping into this whole thing about Bitcoin futures, and then it's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news, because they're going to wake up tomorrow morning and say, who actually wants a Bitcoin futures ETF? No one actually wants it. No one actually cares. And then I think the speculators are going to move all their money into altcoins. That's what I think. And that's why I think that it may be good time to start looking at alts. I think it's a good time to start looking at alts. I even told you, if you follow me on Twitter, which is at CryptoManRun, I have said this to you before. I've said it to you before. I even think that it might be time to buy a Fantom. I did tell you that. There is the Fantom event here in Abu Dhabi next week, which I think will do wonders for the Fantom price. So, as I said, this week is the event, the Fantom event. You can see that the Fantom price has actually been going up for the last month in anticipation of this event. In fact, the Fantom price has doubled in the last month. Doubled. The Fantom price has doubled in the last month in anticipation of this Fantom event. Also, in anticipation of what I think is going to happen, I think that there's going to be lots of announcements at this event. I think that the announcements will come towards the end of the week. So remember, the Fantom event happens Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then there's a closing party on Thursday night. And I think that is when we're going to find out about all the amazing things that are going to be built on Fantom. We're going to find out about the Coinbase listing. We're going to find out about all the other things that the birdie told me that I'm not allowed to tell anyone, because then the birdie won't tell me anything anymore. And we don't want that, because then we won't have information. So we never talk about what the birdies say, ever. But don't be surprised if you get a whole lot of announcements for Fantom on Thursday. We will also be crossing live to the Fantom conference. Now, the reason why Fantom is doing so well is because Fantom is, first of all, it's not a blockchain. It's a directed acyclic graph, which is similar to a blockchain. It's not as secure as a blockchain. Some would argue that it is, but it isn't. But the thing with Fantom is that Fantom is Ethereum virtual machine compatible. It's EVM compatible, which means that effectively Fantom, it reached, you see, it's now in the top 30 highest market cap coins. We're going to talk about that. This is the ecosystem that is built on Fantom. Now, Master of Coins, his name is @ofcoins 2017, says, you want to hear a joke? ADA has a $71 billion market cap. Fantom has a $6.44 billion market cap. Fantom has a 1 second finality. Fantom has 0 fees. Fantom is smart contract compatible. Fantom is EVM compatible and has gaming, DeFi, NFT, and a whole lot of other apps. And they have a $370 million Fantom program, developer grant program. This is the current ecosystem that is built on Fantom. So you can't deny that Fantom is exploding when it comes to adoption. It is exploding when it comes to total value locked. So it's got now about $5 billion of total value locked. Let's look at what Solana has. So Fantom has a total value locked of $5 billion. It has a market capitalization of $7.3 billion. Let's look at a Solana. Solana has, we're just comparing, Solana has a 13 billion, so double. What's the market cap of Solana? Well, let's have a look. Let's quickly have a look at what Solana's market cap is. And you can't really compare this one for one, but I'm just giving you an idea. Solana has a market cap of $63 billion. Fantom has a $7 billion market cap. Solana has double the value locked. Solana is not EVM compatible. So Fantom, from that metric, does look like there may be a lot of upside. Now, I must make a confession to you guys. When Fantom was at $1 and Solana was at $100, I switched some of my Fantom into Solana just because I had too much Fantom and I wanted to rebalance my portfolio. So far, that was a bad decision because Fantom is at $2.80 and Solana is at $2.10 or $210. So bit of a problem, but maybe in the long term, that trade will pay off. I didn't do it because I thought anything is wrong with Fantom. In fact, I think Fantom is unbelievable, and I'll show you in a second why I really love Fantom. I did it because I was overexposed to Fantom. So I had to lower my exposure to Fantom, and I decided that the next best place to put the exposure was actually on Solana. So remember, Fantom is undervalued relative to certain metrics. It is fast, it is cheap, and there is a whole developer ecosystem building on it. And in fact, if you go to Fantom Hub, which is @Fantom Hub, you get a daily report of exactly where the TVL is staked on Fantom. So JustYours, SpiritSwap, SpiritSwap. You can see this every day. So what I like to look at here is the total gainers by total value locked and the total losers by total value locked. Because if you see where the money is flowing into, you know that the price needs to be flowing up like that. So here you could say Tomb.Finance has a increase in total value locked, which actually means that maybe the price should be going up. And then you go and look at the price of Tomb.Finance and you see that the price actually went up. And we're going to talk about Tomb.Finance because Tomb.Finance was one of the tokens that Harry, you remember Harry, my friend Harry, who came to us the first time he was on his yacht. And he came to us and he made a whole lot of price predictions around Fantom. I don't know if you remember that. If you don't, I'm sure Lukey or Freddie's got a video. Let's play the video.
You were the first person who told me that to look at Fantom. I actually looked at one of the WhatsApps when Fantom was at about 5 or 6 cents. You sent me a WhatsApp and you said Fantom's going to $1, and Fantom went to $1.
Yeah.
And now Fantom's closer to $2. So first of all, where do you think it's going? And then the next question is, why do you think it's going there?
Sure. So I think there's definitely a couple of factors. So I like to use simple math. most of my trades I like to keep pretty simple. So if you take a look at the entire total market cap of cryptocurrency, right, that's over $1 trillion. In the top 10, you have Bitcoin that's around 900 billion. I think Solana's close to 80 billion. So if you were just to take a look at simple tokenomics, Fantom, there's about a 2.5 billion to 3 billion supply. And right now, it's only trading at $1. That means, let's just say $1.50. Valuations are around 4 billion. For what Fantom actually has, if you look at the total value locked, I think it's number 6 now in DeFi Llama. Relative to the value of the token price itself, it's extremely undervalued. So as an investor and as a trader, to get the most alpha, you want to invest in the most undervalued projects. So why I invested in Fantom early on is I just saw a huge, this is the biggest diamond in the roughs. But two of the ones I'm the most interested in right now, like there's one called Zoo and Just. So Zoo is an interesting project because they've built the equivalent of like the 1 inch of Fantom, and they'll have like the OpenSea on Fantom, which is like, a marketplace for NFTs. And the other one that's really interesting, but a little bit polarizing for some, is one called JustYours, which is essentially like the OnlyFans, but for on.
So you see, Harry came on, he gave us 3, he said Fantom, he said, and that's been up 88% since the 7th of September when that show happened. He said Zoo's up 117% since Harry came on. And then he said Just, and Just is up 300%, 293% since Harry came on the show. Then Harry came onto the show again on the 7th of October, a month later. So 1 month break. What did he say on the 7th of October, Fred?
Definitely the favorite ones that I've had, recently are, SpookySwap's Boo, SpiritSwap, Magic Internet Money, Ice, and Spell, just to name some of the ones. These guys.
So SpookySwap is an exchange, right? It's one. I think the SpiritSwap and SpookySwap are the two main exchanges. But Harry, if I look at these exchanges, you've got SpiritSwap up 250% this week. You've got SpookySwap up 20% this week. Still a buy.
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
And same with Zoo and Just. So what I tell people is a lot of these tokens, they're cyclical. So for example, Spirit and Spell and Magic Internet Money, they're doing a collaboration together. So when one goes up, they all kind of go up at the same time. But ultimately, there'll be a correction on some of these tokens. They just can't keep going up. But right now, the Fantom ecosystem as a whole, as the price, because a lot of these tokens are priced against Fantom, as the price of Fantom goes up, a lot of these tokens also go up as well. So like Zoo, Just, Tomb, Ice, TShares, Spirit, all of these will go up because Fantom goes up. It's almost kind of like before altcoins would go up because they're traded against Bitcoin. Now a lot of these tokens that are traded.
Okay, so Harry came on the show again, 7th of October. What did he say 7th of October? Tomb, up 87%. He said TShares, up 423% since he came on the show. Then he said Boo, up 17%. SpiritSwap, more or less the same. And he said Ice, up 140%. That was 3 weeks ago. So this week, we've got to get Harry back on because he's got to tell us where we must put our money. We have to do this. We have to get Harry on the line this week. Let's do that. Okay, he also did speak to you guys or to us about TShares and about Tomb. And I think there's a massive opportunity here in TShares and in Tomb. But I said this with a big disclaimer. This is risky. So I'm going to say this again. There is a massive opportunity, but it's risky. And you need to know exactly what you're doing if you're going to try this opportunity. I'm in it, but I know exactly what I'm doing. There's a massive amount of returns that you can get, but you got to really pay attention. And so I want to talk to you guys about these two coins, Tomb and TShares. So let's look at and let's understand what Tomb and TShares are. All right, so you can see that Tomb is up. Let me show you something scary, scarily amazing. It's up from $58 on the 8th of September. $58 on the 8th of September. Yes. To $3,238. Okay, and then let's just look at that. That's Tomb. That's TShares. Let's look at Tomb. Tomb 299, and that is up. That just tracks the Fantom price, but actually it doesn't, because if you look at it 90 days ago, it didn't track the Fantom price. So it's gone up from 28 cents all the way to $3, 10x return. So let's understand what Tomb and TShares are and how you can use this to make money, because it's super important that you understand this. Now, I'm saying this again. It's a big opportunity to make money, but you need to know exactly what you're doing, and you need to understand that it is very, 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 very risky. So to understand what it is, Tomb and TShares are seniorage coins, like Luna and Terra, where they are not pegged to anything. They're not backed by anything, but they are pegged to something. The Tomb is supposed to be pegged to Fantom. And what they use is they use a mechanism using I want to show you this to you graphically. So let me show you this graphically. Let's look at it through the symmetry. Hold on a second. So there are three types of token. There's Tomb. Tomb is designed to be pegged to the Fantom price, slightly higher than the Fantom price, more or less, and I'll explain that to you guys in a second. Then you got the T-share, which is the seniorage token, and then you got the T-bond, and the T-bond is used by the community to keep the price of Tomb pegged to the price of Fantom. So if the price of Tomb is all of a sudden too low and not pegged to the price of Fantom, what they do is they put T-bonds into the market, and they burn the proceeds of the Fantom, of the Tomb. And when they burn those proceeds, it reduces the supply of Tomb, and it brings it back to the peg against Fantom. So what you have to understand is that Tomb is designed to more or less track the price of Fantom. So why do you need a token that actually tracks the price of Fantom? Why not just use Fantom? This is where it gets interesting. So the reason why they say that you need Tomb or a process or a token that tracks the price of Fantom is absolutely genius. They say, let me make this bigger so that you guys can read it. Even bigger. Okay, so what the hell is the point of having a token that's pegged to the price of Fantom when you can just buy Fantom itself? Before we dive into what Tomb could mean for us as an investor, let's break down the potential of Tomb's long-term process. For Fantom to continue running a fast, secure, and cost-effective blockchain that we all know and love, the validators need nodes. In order to have nodes, the validators need to lock up tokens. The average validator needs to lock up 3.175 million Fantom. So that means that locking up these Fantom in the vaults, in the validator reward vaults, means that a lot of Fantom are going to be out of circulation. Now, the problem is that if a lot of Fantom are going to be out of circulation, you've got a problem. Because then how can you use Fantom to keep paying if all the Fantom are going to be locked up in circulation? And so what they created, if Fantom is intended to be ideal for sending and receiving payments as a decentralized alternative to stablecoins, what happens when there's just not enough Fantom? Because everyone's using them to stake. So this is why they created Tomb, and they're saying if Tomb continues or succeeds to hold the peg, this will create a mirrored liquid asset that can be moved around and traded without restrictions, all while benefiting from the price appreciation of a native Fantom token. Reaching the peg and holding the peg is crucial, and this will ultimately drive the value of Tomb shares for investors. So this is so we have this token. The token is called Tomb. Tomb is designed to be pegged to Fantom, and it is more or less pegged to Fantom. So right now, Tomb is at 299, and Fantom is at, let's quickly have a look at it, 290. So you can see that the price of Tomb is a little bit higher than the price of Fantom. And I'll explain to you in a second why that is the case. So if you go to Tomb.Finance, this is where you have to seriously pay attention. It says, Tomb is a taxed token, which means you will pay a service fee selling Tomb. This is the big thing. The price of Tomb is higher because when you sell Tomb, you have to pay a service fee. And the service fee is pretty scary. It's pretty high. Let me try and find you what the service fee actually is. It's high. Here we go. If the peg is 1 to 1,01 to 1,03, the service fee for selling your tokens is about 16%, which means that you lose 16%. So you think to yourself, okay, well, why the hell would I buy Tomb if I'm going to lose 16% when I sell it? This is where it gets super interesting. If you want to go and stake your Tomb, or your Tomb and your Fantom pairs, there is a huge return to be made. So let me show you the return to be made. Let's close that. Let's go to the Tomb Fantom LP token. You get 255.51% APR per year if you do that. But you earn that in TShares. So you stake your Fantom and Tomb, which are actually supposed to be pegged. You earn TShares. And then you go to the masonry section and you stake your TShares and you earn more Tomb at 365% per year. Now remember, there's no gas. So all this is done with like no gas. So you stake your Fantom, your Fantom Tomb LP token, you get your 255%. You then take the TShares that you claim and you put them into the masonry here, and you earn 365% back in Tomb, which you can now restake. So it's like this, not only are you earning TShares every single time, you get Tomb, then you take the Tomb, you restake the Tomb, you earn more TShares, and the price of TShares is absolutely exploding. I want to show you, because the supply of TShares is very, very, very small. If you do this, you can make a lot of money. Look at this. The total supply, it doesn't have it here, but there's a very, 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 total supply of TShares is 59,000. And I think about 20,000 of them are circulating. So again, let's go through this again. I know it's pretty complicated, and I'm going to go on to some other altcoin picks. Don't do this if you are not experienced. If you are experienced, you go and stake your Tomb Fantom LP, which is basically Fantom and Tomb together. You get 255% per annum for doing that, right? Then you go to the masonry, you deposit the TShares that you earn, and you earn 365.72% in Tomb. You get it? Like, okay, here's the risks. I'm saying it to you guys again. There's a few risks. The first thing is, when you stake your TShares here, you can only draw them after 6 epochs. Every epoch is 6 hours, so you can only withdraw them after 36 hours. Okay, 1. 2. This is the most important part. Please don't say I didn't warn you about this. There is a fee for selling Tomb. The fee for selling Tomb depends on the peg to Fantom. Right now, the peg to Fantom is here, so there's a 15% fee. So you can't do this for short-term gains. But if you believe that in the long term, the TShares will maintain the peg to Fantom, which I believe it will, but you got to make your own thesis, you do it, and you just keep earning money, and you earn money on 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 money, and it's just a never-ending way of earning money on money. You get it? Got it. Good. Complicated, but you want to make money, then that's how you do it. Be careful. There's no impermanent loss. So Royal with Cheese says, so almost no impermanent loss. Royal with Cheese, there can only be impermanent loss if the peg breaks. The peg has broken in the past. But for as long as there's no break, you don't have impermanent loss. But remember, there's a tax for selling your Tomb. Every time you sell your Tomb, you're going to lose 15%. So do your own homework, do your own analysis. I'm doing some of it, but you got to be on the ball, and you got to keep restaking and restaking and restaking if you're going to make that amount of money. Got it? Simple. Amazing. Cool. Let's move on to the next one. Easy way to make money. I promised you guys 2 more. I've only got time for 1 more. Or I can rush. Let's rush. Okay, let's rush. Okay, the next one that I want to talk to you about. Very, very, very good one. Remember I told you the story about the bees, and I told you about how the bees like to buzz, and then they go to a place, and then they buy the place up, and then they leave, and then the price goes down. And then sometimes what happens is they forget. They forget about something that is amazing, and the price starts to go down, and the price goes down, 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 down. but then it's a very good protocol still. Remember that. So I've got one for you here, Freddie. Watch this. Oh, you want to do the bees? Hold on. Okay, remember that. So I want to show you the story. I want to tell you the story about the bees. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what this is. I'm just going to show you. You see, look. Bzzz. Okay, the bees came. Buy. Sell. You see? Dumb fucks. Serious dumb fucks. Honestly. I mean, go buy. Sell. But now they forgot about this flower. This is a real flower. You know what? It's a flower. Because it produces pollen, good honey, good pollen. Okay, now I'll tell you why this flower produces unbelievable pollen. Very good pollen, okay? So this flower, can you guys guess what this flower is while I'm having some water? Jimmy, can I get another water, bro?
Okay.
Sparkling, please. Can you guess? Let's see if you guys can guess. What is this flower that I'm talking about here, where the bees went here, they made the flower go up, and then, you see, Tom, bro, you got it. Saber. This is exactly it. How do you know? Because you're reading the fucking thing on the top. Oh, I'm such an asshole. Okay, so it is Saber. Okay? Now, let's look at why I think Saber is undervalued. Number one, if I look at what happened here, the bees came and the bees left. And they forgot. But when they did that, the fundamentals never changed. So then I go and I look at Saber. And I look at the TVL on Saber. There's $2 billion total value locked on Saber. Okay? The highest that there's ever been was $3 and a bit billion locked on Saber. But remember, a lot of that was Saber. Now, remember I said to you that for me, the big narrative right now is all about bridges and bridging blockchains. And this is where I think Saber wins. So Saber is a chain which allows you to swap USD, dollar-denominated stablecoins, so any stablecoin, for any other stablecoin on Solana. And so basically what it's created is this bridge between other blockchains and Solana, and it powers the entire Solana ecosystem. Most recently, let me show you, what I found is that the top 10 protocols by total value locked, the winner in Solana ecosystem is still Saber. And I've also found this. Saber launches first wormhole with UST pool on Solana and Terra. So they've now bridged UST, which is the Luna-based stablecoin, onto Solana. So all this is happening. The TVL is at $2 billion. And the bees, look at the bees, bzzzt, bzzzt, forgot about this. The bees just fucking forgot about this. Okay, so I mean, okay, you do your own maths, you must do your own research about whether you want to buy this one. Be careful if you're going to play on the other one, what's it called? Tombs and TShares, be careful. You got to know what you're doing. I don't want you guys to get burnt. Okay, good. That's the next one. Let's see what else is there, because I promised you more today. Saber, good. I explained to you why. Because Luna, there's the wormhole bridge now bringing UST onto Solana. That's huge because the TVL is going up and because the narrative now is bridges and people have forgotten. And if you look at the market cap of Saber, it's like $40 billion. Let's quickly look at what the market cap is. Let's have a look here. Fred, you don't have to put that thing on all the time that says that this is like entertainment purposes only. You're giving me a complex that I'm giving financial advice and that you're panicking.
I'm just keeping it safe.
I know you're keeping us safe, but it's enough to be safe a little bit. Type cool messages in that thing. Like type like fun, uplifting messages. That's much better. Okay, yeah, type a fun, uplifting message. Okay, look. Okay, now concentrate. No, not there. On the ticker you want it. You want to type it on the ticker, bro. You want to type it on the ticker, not there. You remember this name? His name is Joe Wong. Got to follow this guy. This is like the best alpha in the industry. But no one knows this. So go to Twitter and follow Joe Wong. Okay, because no one knows this guy. But this is where a lot of alpha lies. Now you'll see that other YouTubers soon will start talking about Joe Wong. You'll see. His thing is at KHUN Joe5. You will see that in the next couple of weeks, everyone will be talking about Joe Wong. And the reason is because he gets it, okay? He says, ThorFi season restarts. Remember that the ThorChain got hacked. What kind of ugly ticker is that? I think I need a new producer. I think we need a new producer. I think Fred's lost his mind. Okay, so he says, he's very smart. Let's see if you guys are following him. Follow him, guys. It's free money. So, ThorFi season restarts en route RUNE to all-time high of 20. He knows this. He knows this. He's very smart. But what he's done very well is he's shown all the projects that are now launching on ThorChain. We had ThorSwap, Thor Wallet, Broker Finance, SkipSwap. The XDeFi wallet is starting to integrate ThorChain. There is a lot happening on ThorChain. And we called this, Sheldon called this last week, where before this all started. You also have on ThorChain, you have Dash Decred integrations, ThorFi lending, ThorFi composite assets, Thor name, ThorFi order book. You also have Doge being deployed and ready. So ThorChain again is this bridge that is bridging a lot of ecosystems together. That's what ThorChain is. And remember, the narrative is all about bridges. And that's why we had the ThorChain breakout already. But I think it's just getting started. I think it's like, this is a great time to still buy ThorChain. And then not only should you buy ThorChain, but start looking at the projects that are being launched on ThorChain. And try and get yourself in. Like, you can go to ThorStarter, which is XRUNE, and you can get into there, or just look for other projects that you can get into. You got it. Simple. So three narratives today. The first narrative for today, Fred, let's see your comprehension skills. Fantom. And Fantom, you can earn a lot of APY, tons of APY, but you got to know what you're doing. Got to be a genius. Okay. The next narrative today, let's see, let's get Fred. Fred, what's the next narrative today? Yo, Fred. Interconnectivity. See, very smart. This is gonna be funny.
Fred?
You talking to me?
I'm talking to you. Well, what's the third narrative for that?
I'm not sure.
ThorChain. Bro, what do you do when you sit here and watch your computer screen while I'm doing the show? Shit. Guys, I listened to one part of the whole show. No wonder your portfolio is down. Everyone else's portfolio in the moon. Okay. No wonder your portfolio is down. Okay, good. Okay, do we have 5,000 likes? Can we do some giveaways? Amazing. Listen, guys, I hope you had fun today. It was absolutely amazing. I need to start giving away money. So let's quickly go through this. If you haven't signed up for Bybit and you haven't deposited money, it's not too late, because I'm going to still give away 1,000 BitDAO tokens to people at random. All the yellow ones here are getting 1,000 BitDAO tokens. And I'll tell you who else is getting 1,000 BitDAO tokens. 9367881, 1,000 BitDAO tokens. And 9390721, 1,000 BitDAO tokens. And now remember, we're going to give away 50,000 of these tokens. So make sure that you sign up and deposit money. The link is below. It's free money. I'm not telling you to trade. You got it. Like, I'm not telling you to trade. I'm not telling you, take leverage. I'm just saying, sign up, put money in. That's all you need. And look, you don't need to put in a lot of money. These people put in $13. Is it dollars? Yes, dollars. $13 to win. Come on, guys. $13 to win 1,000 BitDAO, which is $2,500. Better be an asshole not to do that. All right, next up. Let's give away some MetaWars. 10 times $100, but we're only going to give away like 5. So go. The next level we go. Amin, you win $100. Joseph DeFreitas wins $100. Let's go to the super chats. We neglect our super chats, guys. I don't ever get lucky enough to win those giveaways, which I'm so in need of, Banter fam. Wilson Chris, $100. Osfi says giveaways, $100. One more. Come on, guys. One more. Graham Engelbart gets $100 of MetaWars. I get to take the rest of the afternoon off, and I get to see you guys again tomorrow. So see you again tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Be careful out there if you are going to do the Tomb T-shares. There's a lot of money to be made, but there's a lot of risk. You got to be careful. And then, Freddie, you'll try and get Harry on the phone for us tomorrow.
I think it's good on
Wednesday.
Let's let it run a bit.
Let it run. You want to, let's hear what's going on. Let everything happen, and then we get Harry.
Maybe even first in the morning.
Yeah, but we might get him twice. We should maybe get him twice. The guy was a genius.
Can you bring Andre?
He could probably bring Andre, but Andre is not a degen. Andre's a developer, bro. Alrighty, guys, we will see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my friends. That Tomb T-shares thing is so good, but the problem is that these people are going to get burnt. You've got to be so careful. It's a high risk because they don't understand that when you sell your Tomb, first of all, it can lose the peg, and you can lose 25%. You got to be super careful, man.
Yeah, but the gains outweigh the losses on that sale.
If you know what you're doing, and if you hold it long term.
Saber's pumping, eh?
Saber.
Sweet.